If it wasn't for Dr. Mark Brinker and his staff and the Fondren Orthopedic group at Texas Orthopedic Hospital, I don't know if I would have my leg today. I don't know if I would have the life I have today. And because of their assistance with my leg and their skill level, and Dr. Brinker has an amazing skill level, I'm able to walk and drive and do a lot of the stuff that I used to do. And there's no words or deeds or there's not enough thankfulness in this world for me to be able to express how I feel about that. When I was 36 years of age, I was employed with the city of Pasadena as a police officer. I'd been there about 15 years. I was at the time working as a motorcycle police officer. On January 8th, 2002, at around 8:30 in the morning, I was involved in a serious motorcycle accident involving an 18-wheeler. At the time I hit the 18-wheeler, I didn't realize that I'd been seriously injured. For the first few seconds as I sat there and tried to clear my head, I didn't realize my leg had been nearly amputated. And upon trying to stand up, that's when I realized my leg had been severed and was attached by just about 1 or 2 inches of skin and muscle in the back. You know, I didn't expect to have my leg after I got to the hospital, and I knew I was going to have surgery pretty quick. I didn't expect to keep my leg. I was in the hospital for approximately 21 days, at which time they had me fixed with a fixator that kept my leg completely immobilized from the ankle to the hip. I was in a hospital bed for approximately 4 months after that in the living room of my house. I made continuous trips back and forth to the doctor I was seeing at the time who was treating my leg, and after 2.5 months I was referred to Texas Orthopedic Hospital, where Dr. Mark Brinker took over the healing process of my leg. About a week later, we'd scheduled to just above my right ankle. When I went home, it of course, even though I couldn't walk at the time, and she goes, "What do you need?" And I said, "Just watch this." And I had let go of the cabinet, the sink, and taken 3 or 4 steps on my own, which was just exciting to me because I hadn't, since January 8th, I hadn't walked, and that had been 3.5 months. About 2.5, 3 months after he fixed me with the fixator, I came in and I could just see a change on his face. He actually called me and my wife, and by that time I was actually walking without the use of crutches or with a walker, and I didn't have to be pushed around in a wheelchair. Is starting to heal, and it's starting to heal pretty quickly. When I came back in October for my a visit, he once again called my wife and I into the hallway where the x-rays were, and he had informed us that he thought my leg had completely healed. He didn't see any signs of damage. He called it welds. The bone had welded itself back together, and I was pumped. You know, I was ready. I said, "Get this thing off me then." And he said, "You know, you got to slow down a little bit." After about a week or two, they scheduled a surgery, and I came back in, and they removed the fixator. And I will say this. I think in large part to Dr. Brinker and the other doctors also that were involved. I have not had one setback with my leg. Dr. Brinker, to me, not only saved my leg, but I think he saved my life in a way as far as the mental state I was in went, because upon seeing him, I was a pretty depressed guy. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. I couldn't run like I used to. I was a big-time runner. I could still lift weights, but I was pretty depressed about losing some of my activity. And after I had seen him and he had treated my leg and taken the Alizarov off, I pretty much do everything now that I did back then. I couldn't be happier with the way my leg is right now. There's a lot of things in my life that bother me, a lot of things that just daily struggles. But my leg, people never hear me complain about my leg. I'm thankful for him. I can't express it in words or thoughts or deeds enough of how thankful I am to him and his staff and Texas Orthopedic Hospital.